Bobrovsky moves it to the backhand. Turkins on the shot for an open net goal. What a play by Kane. It's only a game. Sometimes you just have to be men. Tappers shot by Kane. Shot into that Pittsburgh zone. Flurry out of the net. Good play. Right in front. They score. They score. And tie the game. Bobrovsky. Side looks around, looks for help. Gets it over for Hudson. Scores. Wins the game for Chicago. Down it goes. The shot. Score. Polino scores.
Now. That's right. It is Tuesday. It is 2 o'clock, and it's time for the penalty box. As always, I'm the Goon. Along with me is Hot Take Nikos.
What's going on?
What's up, man? How was your weekend?
Nothing much. I'm the Iceman. What's going on, guys? Bobrovsky!
I'm sorry. I totally messed that up. I grabbed the wrong flash drive this morning, so my fault for that. Flashback in time, I guess you could say, per se. But yeah, did you have a good Memorial Day weekend?
I did. It's pretty cool. I worked. I got a nice farmer tan.
Same.
Yeah, I mean, Memorial Day was cool. I mean, I was off that Monday, so literally I walked to go get a haircut. Like 3 blocks away from my house, there's this plaza. So there's like a haircut place, no regular place to open. Walk over there, and of course it's closed because it's Memorial Day. So instead of leaving and going back home in defeat, I decided to go to Ross, closed for that. And I spent about 2 hours there trying to find red shoes, which I found. They're nice red shoes.
I mean, hey, you know how to have a good time, I guess.
Yeah, so I spent legit 2 hours there, walked home, and then my friend was like, hey, you want to go to the beach? I'm like, yeah. So I wore all white for the first time. That was an interesting experience. And then we drove downtown to find out that all the roads were closed where we usually park, and we ended up just driving back home. So another 2 hours.
Why were they closed?
There was like some pipe break or something like that.
Ew.
So we didn't want to pay for parking, so we ended up just going back home, and ended up watching that crazy Vegas game.
Oh yeah, of course. Oh, absolutely. Well, good. I'm glad you had a fun weekend.
What'd you end up doing?
All right, so this weekend was like packed and crazy. Thursday, I was at the Ice Hogs game, watched them win 2-1 in overtime to keep their season alive. Fortunately, they lost last night. However, Friday, I went to Four Winds in New Buffalo, Michigan with my old boss. We went and gambled a little bit and saw a comedy show with Billy Gardell. For those of you who don't know who that is, he was the big guy from Mike and Molly, like the main character. Yeah. Seriously.
Cool.
And I have to laugh because they're like, oh, bring your family, bring everyone and this and that. So I'm thinking, all right, this is probably going to be like some like boring, clean comedy show. I have never heard the F word so much in my life.
Really?
I'm not kidding. Every other word, and I know I'm not a saint. I don't claim to be the best, the best language user. But no, it was fun. And then celebrated my nephew's 2nd birthday yesterday. So happy birthday to my nephew Jack.
Happy birthday.
Absolutely. No, we just had fun. I mean,
we just had fun.
Yeah. Went to a little like animal zoo and this and that, and it was a blast. I've no complaints from me for this weekend. It was nice and relaxing. And luckily for me, I don't have to go back to work until Thursday. So.
Oh, you don't?
No, I actually have a job interview tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, that's right. What is it for?
It's for video editing, I guess. I mean, it's at a place in Indiana.
Oh,
it's in Highland, so
that's right.
should be very exciting. It's only like an hour from my house, though. So, hour and 20, something like that. So not too bad.
So if the Goon gets this job, will that be the end of the penalty box?
My version of it, probably, but I will make sure to call into the
to the Nikos. we will recall. Let's think of names. What should I rebrand the show once you're gone?
Hot takes.
Hot takes on some hot skates. Cold skates?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Hot take Tuesdays.
That sounds lame.
How is it lame?
What are the other shows? We have On Deck. We have David Davis. Oh, the David Davis show.
The D and Davis show.
The D and Davis. That's like what?
Ah.
It's like 3 hours.
Ah,
It's like a 3-hour show.
I know we were talking about going 6 hours for this one.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can do
unfortunately, we can't. I don't know if we could even come up with enough material to talk
Well,
about.
not now during the regular season. Like, I think we could do a 6-hour show. I could talk about cat friendly. Oh, we are
still going to do that. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, if you want to hear all about different teams and their cap situation this year, stay tuned because there's going to be a lot of different stuff going on. We're also going to talk about the Vegas Golden Knights winning their first expansion game, winning the first expansion team to win a game in the finals, which is pretty crazy.
Take that, St. Louis.
Dude,
Don't
even say.
And also take that, Toronto. Ooh.
You're out the show now.
So, bro. Okay, bye. See you later. Have fun running the board and everything.
Right. Stay,
I'm just kidding.
Stay. Don't leave me.
And not to mention, we're going to be, bringing up some hot topics. So if you want to comment, call into our show, 773-966-2494. Remember, keep your opinions clean. This is a family-friendly show here. Or what you could do is you could go to our YouTube page.
Oh, yes. Come to our YouTube Go to our YouTube page. You can look up the penalty box. We are the emblem that looks like a burnt burger, but it says the penalty box on it. It's definitely a puck, but it looks like a burnt burger. I know. I've had people tell me that it looks like a burnt burger, but it is not burnt burger. It's you know what I'm saying.
Do we?
No.
I think we know what you're saying. All right, let's go ahead. Let's jump into this. Like I said, I am the Goon. He's Hot Take Nikos, and this is the penalty box. For those of you who don't know. All right, so game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final was last night. Gotta say, pretty interesting pregame show, just to say the least.
Yeah.
Bruce Buffer,
Michael Buffer.
What?
Michael Buffer.
Who?
Michael Buffer.
I thought it was. Never mind.
It's Michael Buffer.
Oh. What?
Yeah, it's Michael Buffer.
Okay, sure.
It is. I swear to God.
All right.
I had to look it up yesterday too.
All right.
Oh man, yeah, that was craziness. Like they went through. There was guys on skates. There was a guy there was a giant eagle, and then there was flames being thrown. That was the crazy. That was the most Vegas thing I've ever seen in my life. Like that was like over the top. Just what is going on? There's just so much. There's just so much going on here. I just don't know where should I look at? Where should I look?
Right. And you know what? They've been doing this kind of like weird stuff all year. So I guess it's not really that shocking. But I mean, if it's your first Stanley Cup final ever, you kind of have to go all out.
Well, they do it. They do it for every one of their blah blah blah. They do it for every one of their playoff games so far. So it's not like it's something that's new. But this one was just over the top. I mean, that opening ceremony, the game was supposed to start at like 7:00. It didn't start until like 7:30. Like they did their opening ceremony where they showed every one of the all one of the teams that they beat. They showed all the NHL, like how they conquered the West. They conquered the West, and then it just went into Michael Buffer coming out and announcing all the players' names. And that was how cool is that? If you're an NHL player, how cool is that to have that guy announcing your name? Like
that is very creative, is what I will say to that.
No, there's a lot of people complaining that the game took so long to start, but come on, it's your first Stanley Cup appearance, and you're Vegas, so of course you're gonna go over the edge with it. You know, so I think it was a fun thing that they did there.
Dude, it was Bruce Buffer.
Is it Bruce Buffer?
Yes.
I don't know who I said Michael Buffer. When I look on NBC, they put Michael Buffer.
Well, that's your first mistake, is trusting NBC. It's not like it's ESPN, like you're trusting ESPN for hockey. Sorry for that. That was probably mean, but I don't care.
They're listening.
They are not listening.
They're going to cut us off.
They're not a sponsor, so it's all right.
They're going to cut us off, and then they're going to tell us, hey, you shouldn't talk about concussions either.
Hey, I'm not a doctor. You're not a doctor. Let's not even touch that one with a 10-foot pole. But all right. So, the game starts finally. Because, I saw a lot of things on Twitter last night. And all I could think about was that guy who was yelling at the refs, Drop the puck, you idiot. And that's all I could think of when that was going on. Real quick, though, before we move on into this game, I don't know if you saw it. They are coming out now that The Simpsons supposedly went ahead and predicted the Stanley Cup in Vegas 20 years ago.
Yeah, I saw that picture.
I know The Simpsons. The Simpsons have predicted everything so far.
I guess. I mean, but is it really they were in Las Vegas and they have a Stanley Cup inside the picture. It's not like predicting. Like they didn't say Las Vegas is gonna win a cup. They were just a picture of the Stanley Cup inside a scene, like a 1 second scene.
No. I realize that, but it's kind of ironic, though, don't you think, that they show it and then Las Vegas gets a team?
Not really. I mean, if you look at it at the time when that was shown, that was when the Phoenix Coyotes, when the Jets moved to Phoenix.
Yeah,
that was actually the time because there were people talking about, hockey in the desert. What's hockey in the desert? And they were playing a bit on something in the desert, and there was the Stanley Cup in the desert. So I really don't think it's all that.
Oh, that's true. Okay, because the Phoenix Coyotes haven't really.
Yeah, they have
Sorry, Arizona Coyotes. Now, my fault.
The same thing.
All right.
No difference.
Well,
that's
all the time we have for this first segment of nonsense. I'm just kidding. When we come back, we're going to be breaking down Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final between the Washington Capitals and Las Vegas Golden Knights. We'll be back here on the Penalty Box, ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
Time to kick off your career in radio or TV broadcasting at the Illinois Media School's downtown Chicago campus. Call us at 312-884-8000 or visit 530 South State Street to learn how you can make your dreams of being on television and radio a reality. Don't take my word for it. Check out what some industry professionals said about the Illinois Media School.
Tom Waddle, ESPN 1000.
Don't waste another minute in a career you don't love. You can be the next great announcer, DJ, producer, or TV reporter. You'll learn key skills from industry pros while working with professional equipment on air and behind the scenes. Still need to keep the 9-to-5 job? Their flexible class schedules can work around any schedule. Short on cash? They have very affordable tuition and financial aid for those who qualify. You'll have access to amazing internships and job placement assistance when you graduate at top radio and TV stations like ESPN. Learn more at beonair.com/Chicago Sports. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
Don Lennon with the most action-packed 2 hours on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com, the Fight League Report. On July 7th in Vegas, UFC 226, the future of the featherweight division will be decided when Max Holloway looks for his second title defense against undefeated Brian Ortega in the co-main event. Will Holloway continue his run as champion, or will Ortega take the division in a new direction? It's striker versus grappler in one of the most intriguing fights of the year. Listen live Tuesday at 12 p.m. only on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
The Stanley Cup is finally here. Can the Vegas Golden Knights win a Stanley Cup in their inaugural season? Or will Alex Ovechkin win his first ever Stanley Cup? Tune into the K-Trey Show every Monday night from 7 to 9 only on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. As myself and my new partner, Ra the Reflex, break down this historic matchup and also get you ready for the NBA Finals. That's the K-Trey Show every Monday night from 7 to 9, only on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
Hey, Chicagoland, it's crunch time. You know what that means. Make sure to tune in with me, Charles Prodigy Ritchie, Sid the Kid, and Corey Barber for the Vegas Golden Knights call up the unthinkable, win the Stanley Cup in their first year. Also, NBA Finals, we get ready to count down a little closer. Who will it be? And also Cup Stocks. So make sure to tune in On Deck every Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m. on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
It's showtime, folks!
That's right. The Rising Feminist Wrestling Show covers WWE, Impact Wrestling, Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and so much more. It is all about the honesty when it comes to promos, wrestling, and of course, the wrestlers aren't even safe. The Rising Feminist Wrestling Show is more than just the highlights. It is the fresh opinions about everything in wrestling. So come join me, Stephanie, the feminist voice of wrestling, every Thursday from 2 to 4 on Chicagoland Sports Radio. It is not just sports, it's a way of life.
Next time on the Penalty Box, the NHL season is coming to a close. But the Stanley Cup Final is set.
No! God, please, no!
Will Vegas flip the script and win?
I like our chances now.
Or is Washington taking down Sin City?
Classic.
Take a seat in the penalty box with Hot Take Nikos and the Goon. Tuesdays from 2 to 4 on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
I am Raphael Young, and there are two kinds of finals that are here now. We have the NBA Finals and the Stanley Cup Finals. Who will be champions? Anything can happen. But also, I will talk about the Cubs and the White Sox and how they're doing so far in their young season. Tune in every Monday from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. at ChicagoSportsRadio.com. It's not just sports, it's for life.
Tune into Students of the Game, where Dr. Joseph Gregory and Dr. Christopher Rouse understand that no matter the age, a volume shooter will always beat their shots. Imagine being a 15-year-old getting 60 shots in a game, boy.
Hey, you should get all 15-year-old getting 60 shots.
You ain't
don't even get 60 shots.
You ain't never gonna be coachable.
Never. Never.
Students of the Game, Tuesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
I got started at IMS here as an instructor a couple years back after I heard a couple of people I worked with were also instructors here. I'm always here if you need help with developing what you're passionate about. And that's what most people come here for. They have a passion. They want to do something. They want to do radio play-by-play. They want to do sports talk. They want to do updates, whatever it may be. My name is Freddie Hupner. I work at ESPN 1000 as a host and sports anchor, and I am IMS.
That's right. We're back here on the penalty box and talking a little bit about game one of the Stanley Cup final between the Vegas Golden Knights and the Washington Capitals.
Go, Knights, go. That creating was crazy.
It was. And, the first period was even crazier.
What a Vegas game, right?
Right. Seriously.
What is goalies? Goalies are voodoo. like, there's no... what is this? There's the whole thing, the narrative coming into this series was how amazing Marc-Andre Fleury has been and how great Holtby has been as well. And just the counter attack each team has been so far. And now you go into the finals and there's Vegas or Caps score first. Was it Caps?
Vegas scored first. Vegas, it was the Colin Miller on the power play.
Right. Yeah. Caps score first. Or no, Vegas scores first. And then the Caps come back and score two. And in Vegas fashion, they come back. And then they took the lead then, right?
They tied it. And then Riley Smith scored in the second period to take the lead.
And then Caps scored back. Oh my gosh. There was just so much tying and untying. I remember seeing a stat Sportsnet tweeted out. They're like, well, we keep giving you updates, but the score keeps changing. We're gonna wait a couple minutes to update. And they sent out that tweet. That was hilarious. There was just so much to consume in that game. What's going on? That neutral zone was crazy. Let's just allow everyone to skate this whole time.
Oh yeah. No, absolutely.
You want to skate? You get a puck. You get a puck. Everyone gets a puck. If you like offense, a 6-4 game is for you. And this is the Stanley Cup final. There was no defense in that game. There was one tiny bit of defense.
Well, and that, not trying to bring them up in this situation. I'm just saying, I haven't seen this high of a scoring game in game one since 2010. The Blackhawks won 6-5 over Philly, and you want to talk about no defense in that one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. But, yeah, you bring up a good point. And I think it was more so just a feel-out game just to see how the two teams, would play each other, per se. And if you're Washington, I think after this one, the mindset has to be, okay, we can get pucks past Marc-Andre Fleury. We just did. Now we need to sort of rein ourselves in a little bit, play some defense, and make smart plays.
Yeah. See, I'm so confused on, they're saying, let's make some smart plays. Let's keep on. Let's just play. There was no game plan in that game. There was zero game plan. I feel what do you say in between periods? Barry Trotz gonna be, "Hey, well, we gotta go out there and I guess keep tying the game." Like, and then Gallant's like, "Okay, let's just go out there and do some things."
Well, you know, Ovechkin actually asked Barry Trotz what the game plan was in pregame warmups, and Barry Trotz said, "Hold on, Ovi, I got to get my my pregame lap in here."
All right.
No, I'm just kidding. But it's like, that's one of the things I want to know too, is what was the game plan? Because I don't understand.
That's what I'm saying. There was zero game plan in this. Okay, going into the game, I was saying the keys for I'll just take the Vegas side, for instance. The keys to that game was have your feet moving, have a fast neutral zone, and don't make sloppy plays heading up the ice. And then for the Washington Capitals, it was not to fall into this heavy physical play that they forced against Tampa, and throughout the whole playoff, they played a really heavy game of hockey. And the first period was, up until when Vegas scored, it looked like Washington was trying to hit the life out of Vegas, and they just kept evading every one of those hits. And then eventually, they scored on the power play, and I was like, or Vegas scored on the power play, and I was like, all right, well, I guess this is how it starts, the beginning of the end for Washington. And then Washington just erupted.
Actually, don't even go there with me. So for our viewers who are still not aware of this, we have a bet here, our friendly bet here on the penalty box. So basically, the winner gets a pizza from the other person. We
said Vegas in 5.
I said Caps in 6.
Hashtag Vegas in 5, bro.
Hashtag all caps. Let's go.
Yeah, if the Vegas Golden Knights could handle, in my opinion, a more skilled, deeper team than the Capitals and the Winnipeg Jets, there's no way they're just gonna lie down. Now, this game may have been an aberration. I don't know if I want so much goal scoring in this whole series, but just purely for entertainment value, wow! Like, you couldn't sit down for a second without being like, "Oh, oh, what's going on?" I don't know.
Is that your bird impression?
Yeah, it's my seagull impression, actually.
Just get up and scream and yell that your team scored, like hear the goal horn. I mean, it's fantastic, I think, for the sport of hockey, to see two teams who have never won it before, in the Stanley Cup final. You get a high scoring first game. Now, I'm with you. I don't know that I want to see 10 goals in a game, but at the same time, my team is not in it. So I'm watching for entertainment.
Right.
I'm not really taking it too seriously. Like, I'm watching it, just to watch it. At least it's different teams every time. It's not the NBA who has the same teams 4 years in a row. You always
hate on the NBA.
Because
every time you get a chance to, you just hate on the NBA.
Well,
I understand you hate the same team, but think about I don't know. I know everyone hates on it because it's the same teams going in and out again. But it's just, I don't know. I feel like, me being a new basketball fan, like, I'm watching it. Like, LeBron James is so fun to watch. Like, I like watching LeBron James just dominate the game. I know such an unpopular opinion, but for watching him, like, right now play his game, like, I don't know. I'm watching basketball for the first time, so it's kind of cool to watch, a player just dominate the whole thing. I know it's not. You're getting mad.
I'm not getting mad. No. What I was thinking internally. All right. So basically, can we both agree that LeBron is hated like Sidney Crosby in the NHL? Unless he's on your team, you hate him.
I feel like people don't really care about Sidney Crosby anymore. I feel like that hate. Well, you're on like the soap opera Facebook of the NHL Facebook, but like in general, like, I don't know. I really don't see the hate on Crosby as much as it was like 3 years ago, like 4 years ago. Like, ever since he won like 2 cups, everyone's kind of like, oh, well, guess we can't talk anymore.
You can still talk all you want. Facebook allows you to have a platform. Twitter allows you to have a platform.
No, I know, I understand, but I'm saying where you're reading your views from, and like how I see the overall picture from like watching and looking at the
hold on. Are you saying that I just take other people's opinions and use them as my own?
Yes.
Okay, well, you're wrong on that.
No, I
I
don't.
read sports articles, my friend. All right.
So what does that do? You're reading someone else's opinion.
No, I'm reading an article and I'm forming my own.
I'm not
I'm just, dude, I'm just messing with
Yeah, I wasn't saying.
you.
But no, but in general, like what I'm saying, you know, it's like I don't see as much of that as hate on as it was. I see a lot of LeBron hate. Like as someone who watches hockey, I tend to see a random like tweet or a comment about I hate LeBron. Like I see that all the time. Now, as a Raptors fan, I understand the hate completely, and I've watched series at the last 3 years. LeBron has took a seat on the Raptors' face the last couple seasons. There was a meme, a funny meme with it was like Jurassic Park, and there was like a meteor.
Oh yeah,
it has LeBron's face on it. That was funny. That was funny.
Oh man,
but you get what I'm saying.
Are you even allowed to say that?
Yeah, take a seat on someone's face.
All right.
I'm not hinting. You're visualizing it.
Stop.
Just saying it out loud.
I don't want to visualize that. I'm okay.
That's just what it is. It's gotta, what was it the other day? Where you're measuring it, putting both sticks on the table, and you're measuring it out.
It's gonna go on our blooper highlight reel. Here, we're just gonna make one on YouTube, and then it'll be hilarious.
Okay. Well,
we got to do an update. We'll do something after that, and then when we come back after break, we'll start talking.
Stick with us. We're gonna be talking about Cat Friendly, going through each team, looking at upcoming UFAs. We're still gonna talk more about this Vegas game because we went totally off sidetrack with that. We'll finish up that game, and then we'll talk about the rest of the series.
You're listening to the Penalty Box, ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
Chicagoland Sports Radio Sports Update.
At 2:30, I'm the Goon with your ChicagolandSportsRadio.com update, brought to you by the Illinois Media School. For more information on careers in broadcasting, go to BeOnAir.com. Cubs beat the Pittsburgh Pirates 7-0 yesterday afternoon. Anthony Rizzo led off the scoring, with Mike Montgomery picking up a win in his first start of the season, going 5 2/3, allowing 2 hits. John Lester gets the start for the Cubs. First pitch is at 6:05. The White Sox fell to the Cleveland Indians yesterday 9-6. The Sox were up 5-1 until a 5-run fifth inning for Cleveland. They also did themselves absolutely no favors by committing 3 errors in this game. Lucas Giolito gets the start. First pitch is at 5:10. The Vegas Golden Knights beat the Washington Capitals 6-4 in last night's Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final. Tomas Nosek had a pair in the win. Game 2 is tomorrow night. And the comeback effort comes up short. The Rockford IceHawks fell to the Texas Stars 2-1 in overtime of Game 6 of the AHL's Calder Cup playoffs. Christy Domenico tied the game with 1:30 remaining in regulation. Rupe Hintz ended the series scoring the game-winning goal with 8 seconds left in overtime. The Stars now move on to the Calder Cup final to take on the Toronto Marlies. This update is also brought to you by Chicago Dogs Baseball. The next home game broadcast will be June 1st when they take on the Winnipeg Golden Eyes at 7:05 p.m. For tickets, visit thechicagodogs.com. I'm the Goon, and you're listening to Chicagoland Sports Radio. It's not just sports, it's a way of life. Hello, and welcome back to the Penalty Box. Welcome back. Welcome all again.
On today's show of Two Guys and a Fern, we're going to be talking about fun stuff.
No, we're not going to be talking about fun stuff. You know, the kids say the darndest things.
What is that?
You know, it's Bill Cosby. You know, the kids say the darndest things. And the pudding bop. It sounds
you shouldn't ever put that away for the rest of your life. Don't ever bring that impression ever again. Okay. What do we got? We got 2 minutes.
We got like 2 minutes. Party over here.
Okay. Trivia time.
All right.
Okay, you ready?
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. Are you ready for this?
Sure.
How ready are you?
Ready. Whatever.
Okay.
Sure.
This player started his career in Minnesota. Minnesota Wild.
Yeah.
Okay. He gets traded to the New York Rangers coming off a 40-goal season after a contract dispute, plays with the Rangers up until 2014, was traded to the Columbus Blue Jackets, and then bought out. No, actually, yeah, he was bought out by the Columbus Blue. No, he wasn't. He was traded to the Los Angeles Kings, played 3 seasons there, won a cup, scored 14 goals in the playoffs. Was recently traded for Dion Phaneuf.
Oh, crap. I should know who this is.
From the Czech Republic.
Wait, you said he started with the Wild?
He did. He wore number 10. He has the same first name as a Chicago Blackhawk.
Well, gee, that's really. Let me guess. This is named Patrick.
No, it's not.
Jonathan.
No. No. Well, this Blackhawk didn't retire, but he did retire.
Marian Gaborik?
Yeah, ding ding ding.
Oh, there you go.
That only took you forever.
Oh, hush, hush.
Yeah, he was drafted by Minnesota. He was drafted in the first round, 3rd overall in 2000.
I guess I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Going back to when I was 6. All right.
He did not play 1 season with the Rangers.
Yeah, he did.
Oh no, he didn't. He got traded in 2009. He scored a lot of goals. Jeez. No, he
Thank you for that amazing in-depth thought there.
Oh no, I thought he got traded in the 2009 season. He got traded in the off season. And he scored 42 goals.
A lot of goals.
He played 4 seasons with the New York Rangers. Good for him. Good career. Too bad you couldn't figure it out.
Career. All right. Well, I got it eventually. All right. That's the most important thing. I got it eventually. All right. Well, that's all the time we have left for this segment. We'll come back. We'll finish up Vegas and then start to dabble in to Cap Friendly. You're not gonna want to miss this. All right. Keep it here. ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. Contact Nikos and the Goon.
Time to kick off your career in radio or TV broadcasting at the Illinois Media School's downtown Chicago campus. Call us at 312-884-8000 or visit 530 South State Street to learn how you can make your dreams of being on television and radio a reality. Don't take my word for it. Check out what some industry professionals said about the Illinois Media School.
Jonathan Hood, ESPN 1000. People often ask me, Hoodie, how can I be a sports radio guy like you? I tell them it takes drive and determination, and you need to learn how it all works. You can learn to be a sports talk show host, a producer, do play-by-play, and shoot and edit video. You'll have a chance to get internships at stations where you can tap into the knowledge of industry pros. With job placement assistance, you can start your new career in 1 year. It's a great school to get the hands-on training you need for a broadcasting career, doing what you love. They have affordable tuition and financial aid for those who qualify. So don't waste another minute. Go to beonair.com/Chicago Sports. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
Next time on the Penalty Box. The NHL season is coming to a close. But the Stanley Cup final is set.
No! God, please, no!
Will Vegas flip the script and win?
I like our chances now.
Or is Washington taking down Sin City?
Classic.
Take a seat in the Penalty Box with Hot Take Nikos and the Goon. Tuesdays from 2 to 4 on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
I am Raphael Young, and there are 2 kinds of finals that are here now. We have the NBA Finals and the Stanley Cup Finals. Who will be champions? Anything can happen. But also, I will talk about the Cubs and the White Sox and how they're doing so far in their young season. Tune in every Wednesday from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. It's not just sports, it's their life.
Hey, Chicagoland, it's crunch time. You know what that means. Make sure to tune in with me, Charles Prodigy Ritchie, Sid the Kid, and Corey Barber for the Vegas Golden Knights pull off the unthinkable, win the Stanley Cup in their first year. Also, NBA Finals, we get ready to count down a little closer. Who will it be? And also Cup Sox. So make sure to tune in On Deck every Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m. on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
It's showtime, folks!
That ball is well hit. Knock, knock. Who's there? Mr. Baseball. Mr. Baseball who? Mr. Baseball went and got himself up out of here.
Covering the bases with Matt Brown and Steven Garcia.
We cover all your latest Cubs, Sox news, happenings around MLB, scores, updates on this day in baseball, and ballpark eatery.
Ballpark food? Now you're speaking my language.
You can catch us from noon until 2 o'clock every Wednesday afternoon on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com and Facebook Live.
I'm hungry. Let's go get some food.
The weather is finally warming up, but we at Second City Sports will keep our cool as we talk Cubs, White Sox, and MLB.
We go. Tyron Luna conversation. About Subway. And it sounds what makes a pillow fight.
Dave Meltzer would grade that match. He'd be like 4.5 stars. I don't know how, but it blew away.
The Bob Rock Show with Cedric Farrell and Elijah Richardson, Wednesdays from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. only on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
Here on Down in Front, we love to talk the NBA, but we also like to talk some other topics as well.
Let me say, that show made me want to, I don't even think I had a computer at the time, but I wanted to go on AmandaBynes.com so bad. Every time I seen that on the show.
Amanda, please.
Amanda, please, yes.
Down in Front every Wednesday from 2 to 4 p.m.
Bring in a dancing lobster. I've been in the radio and broadcasting business a long time, more than 3 decades, and I thought, if I spread my knowledge and shared what I know about the business with a lot of young minds, maybe I could get some of those people involved. And my dad talked to schools, and I thought I could do that too, and I could do it all in one place at Illinois Media School. I've been having a great time. I tell everybody I'm learning as much from the students as they learn from me. I am Eddie Volkman, and I am IMS.
Welcome back to the Penalty Box, continuing our conversation about Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final between the Washington Capitals and Vegas Golden Knights. We were talking a little bit about this before the show. There was a hit made last night by Tom Wilson on Jonathan Marchessault, or Marchessault, as some of you like to call him.
Don't ever say it.
I was just kidding. I'm kidding with you. I knew it was gonna trigger you. That's why I did it. All right.
For the love of Lordy Lord.
All right. So before we play this soundbite, what was your take on that hit for our viewers?
The soundbite that we're gonna be playing is from a writer in Washington. His name is Tony K. Can't pronounce his last name. It's Tony Kiska, something like that. I can't say it. But my take on it was that it was blatantly dirty. It was a charge. It was a blindsided hit. And while it was a clean, I'm saying this with bunny ears, a clean hit, it still was, Marchessault let go of the puck. And he had at least 5-6 seconds of him just looking at where his pass went. Meanwhile, Tom Wilson came from the right side of the neutral zone, took 7 strides, looked at Marchessault without the puck, and decided, I'm just going to go hit him from behind without looking. And Marchessault stayed on the ice for at least 5 minutes after that.
All right. So basically, this was one of the things we want you to call in on our show, 773-966-2494. Give us your opinion about this hit. I'm going to give you mine in a second here. But actually, I'll do it now. All right. While I agree and sympathize with you that it was a charge, it was interference for sure. However, I think he got him from the side. However, yes, maybe you could say it was a blindside hit. All right, because Marchessault never saw him coming. But to call it dirty in a sense really doesn't I guess, per se. It's a gutless play, don't get me wrong. But he didn't hit him in the head. He wasn't KO'd.
All right, well, just listen to what this guy says.
All right, yeah, let's go ahead and let's listen to this soundbite. Penalty Box, ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
It's an absolute changing part of the game. It was 4-3. It should have been taken off the board, and the Caps on a power play. It's a non-call that you just can't. You can't stand. I mean, it's a rabid building, and they've got a great team. That's fine, but you can't cross-check a guy in the middle of the numbers put him in face down in the blue paint, and then the next time he touches the puck, it's in the goal. It's not at this level. They've got to be better, and the referees absolutely blew it.
All right, so listen to him a little bit. He was talking about a play that was later in the game, in which you want to tell him about, you want to tell our viewers about this. I feel like you articulate things better than I do.
Well, it was just you take this one. This is a you.
This is a me.
This is a you thing.
Okay, so it was later in the game. Vegas player basically cross-checks a Capitals player in the paint. Vegas ends up scoring. Well, what this writer is basically saying is that they should have taken the goal off the board, called a cross-checking penalty, and the Cap should have won on the power play because it was like the turning point of the game. And I can understand where this guy's coming from. You know, if it was my team, I'd be kind of irked as well. So, I mean, I think like things are going to get a little bit dirty in this series. I don't think the Wilson hit's going to sit very well with the Vegas players, but I also don't think that cross-check is going to sit very well with Capitals players. What do you think on this one?
Man, I don't know. That cup check was intense. I just don't want this series to turn into a 2011 remake of the Boston Bruins versus Vancouver, because that was a poop show. Honestly. So comparing the two, like just starting the game off, how much scoring happened, how the lack of defense and the lack of and you have a Tom Wilson running around too, not to mention, Tom Wilson. He has his own entity now. Tom Wilson is already this mindless dude. Like, yeah, you want to tell me that I hate players? He's one player I really can't stand. He plays on the line. If you wanted to watch a player that it just doesn't abide to any rules, yes, he's been suspended before, but he does it multiple times every game.
And he's been suspended in the playoffs as well, if we should mention
exactly. That. And it's just I don't know. It was a giant missed call, and it's something that I think the refs, they miss a lot. And not just to bring this one about missed calls. You remember in Game 7 for the Caps versus Tampa Bay series, how Braden Coburn pulled off Kuznetsov's jersey,
yes.
And then after that, the fight ensued with Wilson and Coburn. Kuznetsov's jersey wasn't connected to his fight strap, which is an automatic penalty if your strap is not hooked in.
See, I thought it was an automatic misconduct.
No, it's a penalty.
Okay.
And how do you miss that? It was right in front of the ref. He just went whoop, and just pulled it right off. There was no ripping. He just went whoop, pulled it right off like it was nothing. Giant missed call there. I think that kind of changes the aspect of what that penalty, because it would have been a 4-on-3 penalty for the Tampa Bay Lightning, and whatever, you could have seen what happens there. But anyway, I'm getting at is like how the referees are just missing these. I think they're easy calls. I'm watching this. Did you think it should have been an easy call there?
I think it probably should have been a penalty. I mean, I'm not an NHL referee. If you'd like to, we can go to referee school and you can put your skills to the test.
I could probably do a better.
No. I'm not saying that to spite you. I'm saying that like we should really go do this. I would totally be down with that.
I don't have time to do that. I'm not going to do it. But
that's the power of the Home Depot.
Yeah, right. That's the power. No, hey, but like, what the heck, man? I'm just so. How are you gonna? Why is there so many of these missed calls not being called in the playoffs? I know they take out the rule book, but come on, are you gonna? Especially before we had that clip, even the Tom Wilson thing. It just opens up this can of worms to start off a dirty series. And you clip it on the head by giving that guy game misconduct and saying, hey, we're not going to do this during this game. That's how the referees take hold of a series. And yes, I don't want the referees controlling a game because they're not playing the game. But that's how you make a series clean and you make it a more competitive instead of a dirty like ruckus out there. And I'm not I like hits. I like giant hits. I like seeing players fly, but I like seeing it when they both know when they see each other. I don't like these blindsided hits. I don't like these backhanded plays. I don't like these cup checks that are going on. And it's dirty plays that have no repercussions. And you watch the next game, it's going to happen right in the beginning, and the referee's going to make a call, and everyone's going to be like, oh, where were you at game one? It's just going to be this giant.
The NHL Twitter will freak out. And the fans of the NHL on Twitter will freak out. Absolutely.
Oh, and
that's usually how it starts.
Oh, and an even better thing, remember how they have those concussion protocols?
Yeah.
On the ice? Where was that for Jonathan Marchessault, by the way, who sat on the ice for like 5 minutes, and then he came back like 5 minutes later?
Yeah.
Where was the concussion protocols there? The guy got hit from behind and slammed his head on the ice. Like, where was the protocol? I know it's Stanley Cup final. I know this guy wants to get back on the ice, but you have a protocol for a reason.
Hey, a Benjamin is a Benjamin. I'm sure he gave the spotters a Benjamin. $100 bill.
So you're telling me that this guy bribed
yes
the spotter?
Yeah.
That's supposed to keep him from dying.
Well, I mean, got to start somewhere.
No.
No.
I can't understand this league. It's so garbage. Like,
Did what's his face? Did you tweet about this last night? Because I feel like you could have gotten some insight from
Carcillo.
From Carcillo, because I didn't really look at to see if he tweeted anything last night, but I was kind of curious on the subject.
Oh, actually, like after the third period, I had to go do something, so I literally just caught the highlights of the third period. But yeah, it's just I'm just so done with watching this game. It seems like every period of these playoffs just seems like there's something like you miss a call, but that call ends up being a thing that someone else takes advantage of.
Right.
And then turns into these things. And that's what I don't want to see in the sport. And that's what I'm seeing nonstop. I'm just seeing this whole shebang going down with each team getting these lousy calls.
So let me ask you this per se. If you're Vegas, are you telling Ryan Reeves to go after Tom Wilson?
I'm telling Ryan Reeves to go score another goal.
You know, and it's kind of funny how he's like reinvented himself as a player.
I guess. I mean, he's still
like not really, but he's still like I guess you could say he's kind of a goon still.
He's such a horrible puck handler.
But I mean, he's like trying.
In the first period, it was like the fourth line was out there, and he gets an open net to go take a slap shot on it. I don't know why. I don't know who taught him how to shoot, but that guy got more ice than puck. Like, I don't know. He's just such a weird player. Like, he just takes out people, and it's just
takes out people, beats the crap out of people, and blows kisses at your bench.
He scores goals. Like, what is this guy? It's a joke. Like, it's not even real. Like, who would have thought that? Well, I guess somebody would have thought, like, in the beginning of the season, Ryan Reeves would have scored a goal in the Stanley Cup final because he was on Pittsburgh in the beginning of the season. But realistically, who would have thought that Ryan Reeves was scoring a goal in the Stanley Cup final for any team, let alone the Vegas Golden Knights?
And who'd have thought that Ryan Reeves was going to actually make the Stanley Cup final?
Yeah, who is he? He's replacing William Carrier, who was actually leading the NHL in hits. So they actually placed him. And he's even playing over Thomas Tatar, which they traded a first, a second, and a third for. What was that trade? What are we talking about that? We'll talk about that later.
That's a steal.
Yeah.
For Detroit.
So I mean, Vegas ends up winning this game 6-4, as we know.
Yeah.
And where does this leave? If you're the Caps, what do you need to clean up in this next?
You need to clean up your own zone. And you need to clean up your play per se. Because I'm with you. I don't want to see this series get out of hand. I don't want to see guys getting hurt. I want to see a good, hard-fought Stanley Cup final.
Mm-hmm.
And Unfortunately, if things keep going the way they are, refs keep missing calls, you're gonna see it, and it's gonna get ugly, and it's gonna get disgusting.
Oh, nice.
Sorry, I'm giving you flashbacks. I know, but I mean, other than that, I think it's gonna be a good series going forward.
I don't know. I feel
I'm excited to see the rest of the series.
Yes, I am.
Because I want my pizza.
You're not gonna. They're gonna win.
I'm gonna get my pizza one way or another, my friend.
You do. Hey, so when we come back after this next break, we're gonna be going over NHL teams' salary cap going into the next season. We'll talk about some UFAs, and we will keep talking about hockey. So stay tuned to the hockey. Stay tuned to the penalty box. This is Chicagoland Sports Radio.
Hey, Chicagoland, it's crunch time. You know what that means. Make sure to tune in with me, Charles Prodigy Ritchie, Sid the Kid, and Corey Barber. Will the Vegas Golden Knights pull off the unthinkable, win the Stanley Cup in their first year? Also, NBA Finals, we get ready to count down a little closer. Who will it be? And also Cup Sox. So make sure to tune in On Deck every Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m. on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
It's showtime, folks!
Tune into Students of the Game, where Dr. Joseph Gregory and Dr. Christopher Rouse understand that no matter the age, a volume shooter will always beat their shots.
Imagine being a 15-year-old getting 60 shots in a game, boy.
Hey, you should get all
60 shots.
Don't even get 60 shots.
You ain't never gonna be coachable.
Never.
Students of the Game, Tuesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
The Stanley Cup is finally here. Can the Vegas Golden Knights win a Stanley Cup in their inaugural season? Or will Alex Ovechkin win his first ever Stanley Cup? Tune into the K-Tray Show every Monday night from 7 to 9, only on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com, as myself and my new partner, Ra the Reflex, break down this historic matchup and also get you ready for the NBA Finals. That's the K-Tray Show every Monday night from 7 to 9, only on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
How's it going? My name is Edgar Ibarra, and I'm very grateful for all the knowledge I received at the Illinois Media School. My 15-year career in radio has been a dream come true. I'm a radio DJ, I'm on the air, and I get to be a program director for 2 radio stations in Wisconsin. My dream became a reality with the Illinois Media School. Illinois Media School is a great school with great teachers and former students now working in the industry today on the radio stations you listen to and on the TV stations you watch every day. Illinois Media School, check it out. For more details, beonair.com.
I couldn't have said it better myself. This is Jonathan Hood, instructor at the Illinois Media School, formerly Illinois Center for Broadcasting. So many reasons for you to consider Illinois Media School: financial aid for those who qualify, real-world hands-on experience, internships, and so much more. Don't just take my word for it. Set up a tour at one of the 2 Chicagoland locations. Go to beonair.com/Chicago Sports to learn more. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
Next time on the Penalty Box. The NHL season is coming to a close. But the Stanley Cup final is set.
No! God, please, no!
Will Vegas flip the script and win?
I like our chances now.
Or is Washington taking down Sin City?
Classic.
Take a seat in the Penalty Box with Hot Take Nikos and the Goon. Tuesdays from 2 to 4 on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
So you want to be in broadcasting, but you don't know where to start? Illinois Media School is a great beginning. If you want to work in front of the camera or mic or behind the scenes, IMS will help you prepare for a career in broadcasting in just 8 months. And financial aid is available for those who qualify. So what are you waiting for? Call the Illinois Media School at 312-884-8000, 312-884-8000, or visit the website at beonair.com.
That's right. The Rising Feminist Wrestling Show covers WWE, Impact Wrestling, Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and so much more. It is all about the honesty when it comes to promos, wrestling, and of course, the wrestlers aren't even safe. The Rising Feminist Wrestling Show is more than just the highlights. It is the fresh opinions about everything in wrestling. So come join me, Stephanie, the feminist voice of wrestling, every Thursday from 2 to 4 on Chicagoland Sports Radio. It is not just sports, it's a way of life.
So you want to be in in broadcasting, but you don't know where to start? Illinois Media School is a great beginning. If you want to work in front of the camera or mic or behind the scenes, IMS will help you prepare for a career in broadcasting in just 8 months. And financial aid is available for those who qualify. So what are you waiting for? Call the Illinois Media School at 312-884-8000, 312-884-8000, or visit the website at beonair.com.
The weather is finally warming up, but we at Second City Sports will keep our cool as we talk Cubs, White Sox, and MLB. Who will advance to NBA Finals? Who will be your new Stanley Cup champion? And a whole lot more. We'll also have some great guests to talk about it.
He is Sam Padyanovich, formerly of WGN Radio, now with VSiN Live. Jay Pfeiffer.
Come and join the fun with me, Lakita McGee, and Jason Pfeiffer for Second City Sports. Thursdays noon to 2, only on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
John Lennon with the most action-packed 2 hours on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com, the Fight League Report. On July 7th in Vegas, UFC 226, the future of the featherweight division will be decided when Max Holloway looks for his second title defense against undefeated Brian Ortega in the co-main event. Will Holloway continue his run as champion, or will Ortega take the division in a new direction? It's striker versus grappler in one of the most intriguing fights of the year. Listen live Tuesday at 12 p.m. only on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
Hey, it's Chris Reese, and I am so glad to be back at IMS. I graduated back in 2007, started my career at US 99.5, started working with Lisa and Ray. I was the producer there for about 7-8 years, and I am so glad to be back in the building teaching some new students here, getting them back doing Adobe, getting over that fear of talking on the radio. And it's Chris Reese, night guy on 101.9 The Mix, and I am IMS.
You're listening to ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. It's not just sports, it's a way of life.
Chicagoland Sports Radio Sports Update.
At 3 o'clock on the Goon with your ChicagolandSportsRadio.com update, brought to you by the Illinois Media School. For more information on careers in broadcasting, go to beonair.com. The Cubs beat the Pittsburgh Pirates 7-0 yesterday afternoon. Anthony Rizzo led off the scoring, with Mike Montgomery picking up a win in his first start of the season, going 5 2/3, allowing 2 hits. John Lester gets the start for the Cubs. First pitch is at 6:05. White Sox fell to the Cleveland Indians yesterday, 9-6. Sox were up 5-1 until a 5-run fifth inning for Cleveland. They also did themselves no favors by committing 3 errors in this game. Lucas Giolito gets the start. First pitch is at 5:10. The Vegas Golden Knights beat the Washington Capitals 6-4 last night in Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final. Tomas Nozick had a pair in the win. Game 2 is tomorrow night. Comeback effort comes up short. Rockford IceHogs fell to the Texas Stars 2-1 in overtime of Game 6 of the AHL's Calder Cup playoffs. Christy Domenico tied the game in the minute 30 remaining in regulation. Rope Hintz ended the game by scoring with 8 seconds left in overtime. The Stars now move on to face the Toronto Marlies in the Calder Cup final. This update is also brought to you by Chicago Dogs Baseball. The next home game broadcast will be June 1st when they take on the Winnipeg Golden Eyes at 7:05 p.m. For tickets, visit thechicagodogs.com. I'm the Goon, and you're listening to Chicagoland Sports Radio. It's not just sports, it's a way of life.
It's the way it is. I'm just a man on a scooter. Man on a scooter.
You're just a man on the scooter?
Man on a scooter. There's a man on a scooter outside. He's just a man on a scooter.
Yeah, that's pretty EA, man.
All right. We're the penalty box. We're going to be talking about the salary cap going up.
Home where I wanted to go.
Okay. All right. What did the salary cap go up to?
I'm hearing between 80 and 85 is what the league is thinking. Hold on. I have the figure right. Gonna have it right in front of me.
So right now the salary cap or the cap space for this 2019 is $75 million.
We're going up to 80.
So
we're going up to 80 million.
$5 more million. Now, I guess we'll start with the Blackhawks since this is your
woohoo! Finally,
yes.
We get to talk about the Blackhawks.
Okay, so the Blackhawks have Patrick Kane and Taves signed for the next 5 more years at $10.5 million until the 2023-2024 season when they are. Ooh, doesn't even tell me. Well, five more years when they're 35 years old.
Yikes.
So that's fun.
Very
You
much
also
so.
have Brent Seabrook until that same. He actually has one more year more than them. Actually, he's at 6.8 for the next next 6 years, and then Keith is up at 5. Pretty much, well, their core players, including Connor. Guess how much Connor Murphy makes?
Connor Murphy makes
Makes
3.85 million now. Yeah,
That's great. He didn't even play last season.
What do you mean he didn't play last season?
I heard he was scratched a lot.
A little bit, not really, but that's all right.
He wasn't good, right?
He had his flashes of greatness throughout the season. I think, in my opinion, I'm not just gonna bash the guy. I mean, he plays in the NHL. You got to be pretty good playing in the NHL.
That's
and
debatable. Michael Roseball played in the NHL.
You know what? Here's the thing about Roseball, though, and here's why I get kind of pissed when people bash on him. The reason he didn't play the whole year last year,
he's injured.
Right. He took a punch to the face from Nick Ritchie of the Anaheim Ducks. It was a dirty play, and he dealt with a concussion the entire year.
Yeah, but he should have been done like 3 years ago.
I agree.
Like after that, you know what play I'm going to tell you about? Playing the Stanley Cup final when Roseball went one way and all the play was going the other side. He was on an island by himself, and then he realized before everyone was on their side, he turned and he cracked himself. Right, he cracked both his legs.
I don't know. I know he broke his ankle.
Yeah, he crossed over to himself.
Oh,
he went.
Stuff happens.
Just fell apart. He should have been done then. That should have been his last season.
So should Jake Gardner be done now?
No, because he's 28 and not like 37 at the time.
Well, you guys wanted to give him all a bunch of crap.
I did.
I will say. Let's talk about some of these restricted free agents that we have to talk about here for the Blackhawks. Vinny Hinostroza gets signed. He's coming back next year, no doubt in my mind.
How much does he get?
I'd probably give him like 3.
Would you?
Yeah.
You give him $3 million for how many years?
4.
Really?
Yeah.
For only playing half of 2 seasons?
I think Vinny Hinostroza's potential is going to go through the roof.
He had 14. In the 2016-2017 season, he played 49 games for the Hawks, had 14.6 goals. He had 15 games in Rockford that year, had 7 points. Last season with the Hawks, he had 25 points, 7 goals, 18 assists. For the Rockford Ice Hawks, he had 9 goals and 13 points.
Now they got to be patient with him, and they got to give him a chance to succeed.
I mean, well, how old is he? He's 24 years old, though. So you give that guy $3 million.
Yeah, why not?
You guys have no cap space.
They have like $6 million, and not to mention the 5 or so that you're going to have for Marion House's contract.
Oh,
or $4 million.
Did that come off?
$4 million, yeah.
So
it won't come off until after the start of the season, but after that, you'll have, let's just say, for craps and gigs that you don't sign Vinny Hinostroza, you'll have $10 million in cap. But you'll end up signing. Maybe give Vinny $2 million. Fine, $2 million for 4 years, whatever.
I'd say for me, I think they're gonna probably sign him to a 2-year contract because he does turn 25 soon. So when he does end up, it'll be 27. I think that's when you really see what he is. Because his last 2 seasons, to be honest with you, it's not very indicative of what he can do on this level of play. I think that he's a good third line. Like maybe you play him the first line, second line, but I don't know if he's that good defensively. And not really, and you need that on your third or fourth line, in my opinion.
I hear you.
But you look at, like, let's just say Thomas Jurko for another instance. Like, he's been playing in the NHL forever, and he's never like really clicked. But he has the same amount of points really in the NHL. He's like he played 60 games for Detroit in the 2014-15 season, 18 points. And then last season with the Hawks, he had 29 games, had 10 points. So, I mean, I don't know. They're both the same age. It's kind of like you're kind of getting the same thing out of the two. I don't know if I give him $3 million. Definitely hasn't given me anything.
That's why I said go down to 2, whatever.
I go 1.5.
Okay. Fine.
I would.
Fine. GM Nikos will give him 1.5, whatever.
Yeah, okay. So,
Thomas Yurko, I think, is gone.
Duclair? He's 22.
Maybe match his offer. Give him a couple more years to see what he's made of. He was only in Chicago since February.
Give him a 1-year contract, because then after that contract, he could become a UFA.
Yeah.
I'd give him a 1-year contract. All right, on defense, you have Rosewall's gone. He's going to retire. And then you have nobody else on defense that's going to be needing to re-sign. So,
yeah,
the Hawks look actually pretty decent. Well, in their minor league system,
you're going to be able to shed a lot there.
Yeah, Boma gone.
Franzen gone.
Yeah, you think they're going to keep Svedberg? I think they are.
Svedberg, yes, I think they'll keep him.
Gone. Jeff Glass gone.
You'll probably keep Martinson.
I don't think so. I think he's gone. Maybe
You'll definitely
keep as like a 4th line. I mean, well, even that John Hayden's got to be that 4th line player,
right?
So there's no way they're going to keep Martinson for what he does. Clint Denning, maybe he steps up next season for that last thing. I think DiDomenico, I think he's had a great playoff in the AHL up until obviously they got eliminated. I don't know. I think he's gone too.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I like DiDomenico. I think he's done very good this year. However, I think he's had a shot in the NHL. He's more of that AHL caliber type.
Yeah, I mean,
and who knows? Who knows? Maybe the Blackhawks surprise us all. They pick him up. They decide to renew that contract, and maybe they bring him up. Maybe he is the best thing since sliced bread. Who knows? But I don't think Stan Bowman. I don't think Stan Bowman's going to be willing to take a chance on that. Now, 2-2 is gone.
Yeah.
Jeff Glass, thank you for your service.
What are they going to do in net? What are the Hawks going to do in net? Honestly.
You have, and that's the thing, because you're they are just. I hate to put it this way. They're screwed. They are screwed.
They are.
If Crawford's not good, the Blackhawks are going to be the worst team in the league next year. Stop it!
He's going to go on waivers. He's going to come back to the Blackhawks.
God. And then win the Stanley Cup.
Bet you money it was not.
And then win the Stanley Cup and then retire. It's all good. No. And
man, he's gonna go on waivers. And the Hawks are gonna get him. Calling it now.
Please do not wish that.
Calling it now. It's gonna happen. So yeah, in goaltending they are pretty weak. So I mean, even look their top defenseman. If Keith continues on that route that I was saying earlier, how he was weak in every possible aspect last season, he goes down.
Oh man.
Seabrook is not a good player anymore.
Give him time. It's okay.
Yeah, he's 33.
No one cares.
Yeah, lots of people.
So Zdeno Chara is still lighting up the NHL. He's like 40 years old.
Players.
No, how are they two different players?
How are they not?
They both like to hit. They're both really good in overtime. One has 3 Stanley Cups. The other one has 1.
Stopping you there. One is obviously a generational talent, and one isn't.
One is 800 feet tall. The other one isn't.
Oh my gosh, stop. All right, so we'll go. All right, well, since we're talking about contracts anyway, Alex DeBrincat is up for an extension this year.
Yes.
So what do you think he gets?
Probably $1.5 million to $2 million.
As an extension for a 20-goal scorer at 20 years old? You give him that? You'll get Vinny and
6 year. I give him a 6-year deal. I would give him a 6-year deal.
You'll give Vinny a $30 million contract, and then you'll chip. You'll chip the Brincat.
No. I'm probably giving him. But you don't want to overpay for players either, because Alex DeBrincat has had a very, very successful, first season in the NHL. I think at the end of next season, maybe give them 4. I don't know. All right, screw it. Give them 10. Give everybody 10.
Oh my God! Yeah,
We want to give everybody $10 million. We'll abolish the salary cap. Everybody's going to want to come play for the Chicago Blackhawks. No.
I give him a 3-year contract for. I don't know. I think give him a 3-year contract worth like 4.5.
Okay. All right. So we're in the same boat. And then not only that, but you're going to be looking to extend Dylan Sakura and Nick Schmaltz as well.
Well, you're not going to extend them. You're going to let their contracts go out. That's not an extendable player contract.
As far as what?
You're gonna let them go into their restricted free agency. I'm talking like only real high key players you're gonna be extending. Like you're not just gonna. You don't see anybody really extending anybody's contract if they haven't made an impact.
Well, no, but
NHL.
I think that Nick Schmaltz has made an impact on this
Nick
team.
Schmaltz. Sorry.
Nick Schmaltz.
I thought you said Dylan Sakura.
Well, he was the other one that I mentioned.
Yeah,
but no. You got to see how he plays this year, though, because I think he'll be up in the system this year. We'll have to wait and see on that. All right. Should we come back and talk about the Toronto Maple Leafs?
Yeah, we'll do that.
All right. We'll come back. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Toronto Maple Leafs cap situation going into the offseason. Listening to the Penalty Box, ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
Time to kick off your career in radio or TV broadcasting at the Illinois Media School's downtown Chicago campus. Call us at 312-884-8000 or visit 530 South State Street to learn how you can make your dreams of being on television and radio a reality. Don't take my word for it. Check out what some industry professionals said about the Illinois Media School.
Tom Waddle, ESPN 1000.
Don't waste another minute in a career you don't love. You can be the next great announcer, DJ, producer, or TV reporter. You'll learn key skills from industry pros while working with professional equipment on air and behind the scenes. Still need to keep the 9-to-5 job? Their flexible class schedules can work around any schedule. Short on cash? They have very affordable tuition and financial aid for those who qualify. You'll have access to amazing internships and job placement assistance when you graduate at top radio and TV stations like ESPN. Learn more at beonair.com/Chicago Sports. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
Sean Leonard with the most action-packed 2 hours on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com, the Fight League Report. On July 7th in Vegas, UFC 226, the future of the featherweight division will be decided when Max Holloway looks for his second title defense against undefeated Brian Ortega in the co-main event. Will Holloway continue his run as champion, or will Ortega take the division in a new direction? It's striker versus grappler in one of the most intriguing fights of the year. Listen live Tuesday at 12 p.m. only on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
The Stanley Cup is finally here. Can the Vegas Golden Knights win a Stanley Cup in their inaugural season, or will Alex Ovechkin win his first ever Stanley Cup? Tune into the K-Trey Show every Monday night from 7 to 9 only on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com as myself and my new partner, Ra the Reflex, break down this historic matchup and also get you ready for the NBA Finals. That's the K-Trey Show every Monday night from 7 to 9 only on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
Hey, Chicagoland, it's crunch time. You know what that means. Make sure to tune in with me, Charles Prodigy Ritchie, Sid the Kid, and Corey Barber. Will the Vegas Golden Knights pull off the unthinkable, win the Stanley Cup in their first year? Also, NBA Finals, we get ready to count down a little closer. Who will it be? And also Cup Stocks. So make sure to tune in On Deck every Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m. on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
It's showtime, folks!
That's right. The Rising Feminist Wrestling Show covers WWE, Impact Wrestling, Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and so much more. It is all about the honesty when it comes to promos, wrestling, and of course, the wrestlers aren't even safe. The Rising Feminist Wrestling Show is more than just the highlights. It is the fresh opinions about everything in wrestling. So come join me, Stephanie, the feminist voice of wrestling, every Thursday from 2 to 4 on Chicagoland Sports Radio. It is not just sports, it's a way of life.
Next time on the Penalty Box, the NHL season is coming to a close. But the Stanley Cup final is set.
No! God, please, no!
Will Vegas flip the script and win?
I like how Giants is now.
Or is Washington taking down Sin City?
Classic.
Take a seat in the penalty box with Hot Take Nikos and the Goon. Tuesdays from 2 to 4 on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
I am Raphael Young, and there are two kinds of finals that are here now. The NBA Finals and the Stanley Cup Finals. Who will be champions? Anything can happen. But also, I will talk about the Cubs and the White Sox and how they're doing so far in their young season. Tune in every Monday from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. It's not just sports, it's their life.
Tune into Students of the Game, where Dr. Joseph Gregory and Dr. Christopher Rouse understand that no matter the age, a volume shooter will always beat their shots. Imagine being a 15-year-old getting 60 shots in a game, boy.
Hey, you should get all
15-year-old getting 60 shots.
You ain't don't even get 60 shots.
You ain't never gonna be coachable.
Never.
Never. Students of the Game, Tuesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
I got started at IMS here as an instructor a couple years back after I had heard a couple of people I worked with were also instructors here. I'm always here if you need help with developing what you're passionate about. And that's what most people come here for. They have a passion. They want to do something. They want to do radio play-by-play. They want to do sports talk. They want to do updates, whatever it may be. My name is Freddie Hupner. I work at ESPN 1000 as a host and sports anchor, and I am IMS.
Hello, welcome back to the penalty box. I am Zagun. Alongside with me is Hot Take Nikos.
It's 6 guy Nikos now.
Oh, whatever. Shut up. God, I don't care.
I'm rebranding myself.
So you're actually going to give insightful talk on your Toronto Maple Leafs?
I am. Let's pull up. We are on Cap Friendly, going through the salary cap of each team. Well, our favorite teams.
You know, I can't actually find the Toronto Maple Leafs on here. Are you sure they're still a team?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. It's all good. All right, let's go ahead and.
Okay, so unrestricted free agents. We are providing every other team this season with high quality free agents. Start off the list. We got Van Riemsdyk. We have Dominic Moore, Keo Limerov, Leo Komarov. I almost said that. Keo Limerov. Actually sounds like a cooler name.
Right?
We have Mr. Turtleneck, Thomas Buchanan's leaving, and then Willie Nylander is a restricted free agent.
Get you and your turtleneck out of here.
Yeah,
I can't believe they even let you wear those anymore.
Why?
I'm just kidding. I heard it in a chirp video. Yeah, you know, your Toronto Maple Leafs have some key players who may end up hitting free agency. Like I told you, though, you were telling me before the show that you have a love-hate thing with Willie Nylander. All right.
Yeah.
He's 22 years old. I don't see him leaving.
He's not gonna leave. I was saying on Leafs Twitter, there's been a lot of people talking about how they should trade him for Noah Hanifin, who's also a restricted free agent this season. And the correlation between the two is that this year has been a breakout season, I guess. He had 6 more points than he did last season, which he had 55 points. Now he's 61.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess it's a breakout season. I don't know. I mean, he has the same amount of points as Mitch Marner did last season. Mitch Marner had 69 points this season. It's hilarious. But Kajanga. Boom. Yeah. But no, for real. It's just kind of, you look at the two players. Would you? Let's just say if Kane was 22 years old, those are two players. I can't really compare the two. But I don't know. But trying to think about it, we're I don't know how much I would want to give another player like Willie Nylander, who he had the majority of his points when he's playing with Matthews. And when Matthews went down, Nylander stopped scoring. And the two players are obviously connected with how they play offensively, and without Matthews, Nylander is pretty invisible out there. So that's my whole thing. He had 61 points, which is a really good total, but at the same time, how real are those point totals by himself? Because you can't put him on his own line, have him do all the offense, because he's not going to do that. He's one of the players who comes into the zone, like holds the puck a little bit too long, and then just snaps a shot off. And if it goes in, it goes in. If it doesn't, then that's pretty much all he has. He makes some sweet dishes, but they're all to Matthews. And Matthews just knows where to go. They have great chemistry. Don't get me wrong. They have fantastic chemistry. And I'd love to watch those two play. But come playoff time, if Matthews didn't do anything, you saw Nylander do nothing. And that's the whole thing. That's my whole reasoning and why I wouldn't have Nylander at such a high cap. Yes, you get 61 points. That'll be his biggest break point, because it's like, oh, well, Hyman didn't get as many points with playing with Matthews the entire season. Yeah, but Hyman's a different player than Nylander is. And he actually is in my opinion, a better all-around player, comparatively speaking, to Nylander.
You heard it here first. Hot Take Nico strikes again. Willie Nylander is nothing without Austin Matthews. We'll have reaction from the Dart Guy coming up here.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
No, I understand completely.
It's like that one year Stahlberg had an amazing year in Chicago.
Was that Victor Stahlberg? No, I'm just kidding. I know who Victor Stahlberg is.
Former Toronto Maple Leaf Victor Stahlberg. When he came onto the Leafs, or when we drafted him, and when he was coming up with the Leafs, they were like, we got this giant 6'3" fast man who's gonna come in and score so many goals.
But that's all he had though was speed. He didn't have anything else.
Well, you can say he had one fantastic year. And who did he play? Whose line? He played on what?
He played on Bickle's line.
Yeah, when they both had a crazy year.
Yeah, and won the Stanley Cup, obviously in 2010, and then 2013 as well.
Well, he won in 2013. He wasn't on the team 2010.
I'm sorry. You know what? You're right. I'm getting myself mixed up here.
Sorry, all these Stanley Cups.
I was thinking of Tomas Kopecky.
Oh yeah, that guy.
In 2010.
He was on a Stanley Cup winning team in 1995 with the New Jersey Devils.
Yeah, and then John Madden in 2003.
Crazy how those,
that's amazing.
How those guys keep going.
Gotta love it.
He was a Selke finalist.
Really?
Yeah, John Madden.
Wow.
John Madden. Not the football guy. All right, man, back to the Leafs.
Back to the Leafs. Yes, back to the Leafs.
But yeah, no, I say that if you're gonna sign Nylander, you don't sign so much money. I think you give him maybe. It's so hard because he had a 61-point season and he had 21 goals. It's so hard to peg this guy because that's what they're gonna bank it on. Like his point totals were risen, but he played so well with Nylander he played so good with Matthews, and it's like like I can't fault him for getting a big paycheck, but I also can.
Right, because he had a really good year last year. But what's to say the Leafs give him this really, really sweet deal, and then he just turns into a dud next year?
I don't think he is.
No, I know. I'm just saying in general, and that's where I would love the Dart Guy to call in and give us his perspective on this, because he's an even bigger Leafs fan than you are.
Debatable.
I know.
No, I don't know where I could peg him. I mean, for how long too? Like he's gonna be 23 when this new deal gets signed. And well, when's his birthday? His birthday is May 1st, so he just turned 22. So he's actually gonna be 22 his whole deal for his first year. Yeah, I don't know like where to. I'd say like 5.5, maybe 6, maybe.
Yeah.
And then for how many years?
Wait, 5.5 million?
Yeah, maybe 6. I know that seems like a good.
No.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I think that's way too much in my opinion. Because with Marner and Matthews becoming restricted free agents,
yeah, but he's not thinking about that
at the end of next year. I know
the agent's not thinking about that.
We
gotta make cap room for everyone else.
And I know that the Leafs have a lot of cap space, so maybe the 6.5 or whatever you were talking about for him doesn't sound so bad.
That's a realistic contract that he's gonna get.
Is it though?
Yeah, $5.5, $6 million for a 22-year-old who's had a 55 and a 61-point season. Yeah,
Guy who's younger than me making more money than me. God, that sucks.
Well, it's just like you look at those deals. I know it's a horrible comparison, but you look at how the deals that were given out for the Oilers, like.
Ooh, yeah, and you know what?
Taylor Hall had a season of 60 points, and he had another season of 60-something points with like a 30-goal season, and he was signed to $6 million for 6 years. Jordan Eberle, he was like 22, 23 when he got his big deal, and he had like one good season of 70 points. And that's
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins as well.
He didn't do anything. Nugent-Hopkins did nothing. He had one season of 55 points. They extended him for so long. Even Nail Yakupov, he had 3 years at 3.5.
Nail Yakupov is probably one of the biggest duds in the NHL. I remember Blues fans when they brought in Yakupov, and they're like, "Oh my God, we brought in Yakupov, like we're saved." And I'm like, you guys, look at his career stats. He hasn't done jack. I hate to tell you this, you guys probably shouldn't have done that. But I'm not Doug Armstrong, and I like watching them suffer. So,
yeah. But no, I think if I'm going to peg Nylander, he's either going to get $5 or $6 million for the next 5-6 years, probably. I mean, Van Riemsdyk, he's gone.
Yeah.
Leo Komarov, I don't think if he does come back, it's going to be for like $1 million. Bozak's not coming back.
Roman Polak is probably gone.
He's coming back. There's no way.
Really?
It's Babcock. Babcock loves Roman Polak. He loves Romlock Pullman.
All right.
That guy's gonna come back.
Well, we're gonna go ahead and do our sports update here, but when we come back, we're gonna tell you who we think the best team is going into best team cap-wise.
Yes. More cap stuff.
More cap stuff. We'll tell you who we think is the best going into the offseason here on the Penalty Box, ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
Chicagoland Sports Radio Sports Update.
At 3:30, I'm the Goon with your ChicagolandSportsRadio.com update, brought to you by the Illinois Media School. For more information on careers and broadcasting, go to BeyondAir.com. The Cubs beat the Pittsburgh Pirates 7-0 yesterday afternoon. Anthony Rizzo led off the scoring with Mike Montgomery picking up a win in his first start of the season, going 5 2/3, allowing 2 hits. John Lester gets the start for the Cubs. First pitch is at 6:05. The White Sox fell to the Cleveland Indians yesterday, 9-6. The Sox were up 5-1 until a 5-run fifth inning for Cleveland. They also did themselves no favors by committing 3 errors in this game. Lucas Giolito gets the start. First pitch is at 5:10. Comeback effort comes up short for the Rockford Ice Hawks as they fell to the Texas Stars 2-1 in overtime of the Calder Cup playoffs. Game 6, Cristi Domenico did tie the game, however, with 1:30 remaining in regulation. Rupe Hintz ended the series by scoring the game-winning goal with 8 seconds left in overtime. Stars now move on to face the Toronto Marlies in the Calder Cup final. And the Las Vegas Golden Knights beat the Washington Capitals 6-4 last night in Game 1 of the Stanley Cup final. Tomas Nosek had a pair in the win. Game 2 is tomorrow night. This update is also brought to you by Chicago Dogs Baseball. The next home game broadcast will be June 1st when they take on Winnipeg Golden Eyes at 7:05 p.m. For tickets, visit thechicagodogs.com. I'm the Goon, and you're listening to Chicagoland Sports Radio. It's not just sports, it's a way of life. Welcome back to the Penalty Box. Welcome. All right, so let's go ahead. We'll take a look real quick at the so-called cap situation for each team. You know that one we were looking at earlier?
Yes.
All
We'll
right.
start with the least people. Listen up. Cap space. LA Kings have $4 million in cap. That's
Wow.
brutal. Next with the Blackhawks at 6.2. The Lightning with 6.8. How will the Irishman keep that?
You know what? And we'll talk about this in a few minutes, but I'm wondering how the Lightning are going to be able to keep Nikita Kucherov.
True. All right. Minnesota Wild have 7.4. Nashville Predators have 7.5. The Sharks have 7.5. They did have $14 million, and they said they used $7 million of it to sign Evander Kane. The Washington Capitals have 8.5. The Bruins with 8.8. The Florida Panthers have 9. Anaheim Ducks 9.2. The Oilers have $10 million in cap space. What are you all spending it on? The Montreal Canadiens have 12. Calgary has 12.4. The Blues have 12.9. Pittsburgh Penguins have. Oh, Pittsburgh Penguins also only have $4.7 million.
That's crazy. I mean, you have a bunch of these teams, and you look at the most. I mean, it's the New York Islanders with 28.
Right.
I think if you want my opinion on
Vegas
this,
has $24 million.
yeah. Going into the offseason, I think some of these teams, you're not gonna, like, with the most cap space, you're not gonna see guys go to these teams. Like, for example, Arizona or Carolina or New York to play for either the Rangers or the Islanders, in my opinion. Only because I don't think a lot of these players are going to like the atmosphere or where these teams are going per se. Vegas is up there in salary cap, and that could be the difference on if they wanted to go after some big name players.
Well, Vegas can go up their big name players.
Right.
Hold on. I'm gonna look at their contract situation. But you might want to re-sign James Neal. That take out a big chunk of it. You got to re-sign William Karlsson. He's gonna get at least 5, 6. I think so.
Nozick.
Gabrowski's off the books. Perron's probably gone. Ryan Reeves might be gone. Nozick will get a little bit. He might get $1 million, $1.5 million. William Carrier probably get $1 million, $1.5 million. But otherwise, they're set.
Yeah, and
they extended Riley Smith, who was an off and on player his whole career, he'll get 60 points and then go to 30. So who knows what they'll get out of it next season.
And not to mention, you scroll down and you look at the minor league players as well. They got a good chunk of those that could go in there too. So maybe they don't have as much salary cap as they think they do.
Not really. I mean, what are you gonna you sign home to a minor league deal, Dan's minor league deal. Polkinen's probably gone. Jason Garrison's gone. Whatever. The rest of these players are all just random minor league deals. But even on defense, like Lucas Spiza, he's only going to get $1 million. Clayton Stoner comes off the books. Colin Miller will get a big raise, I think. Shea Theodore will get that long contract that he wants. But yeah, they're set. I think they're good on with contracts.
Absolutely. All right. Well, then we're gonna have to leave it there. When we come back, though, we'll recap the biggest highlights and headlines here in the NHL. You're listening to The Penalty Box, ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
Time to kick off your career in radio or TV broadcasting at the Illinois Media School's downtown Chicago campus. Call us at 312-884-8000 or visit 530 South State Street to learn how you can make your dreams of being on television and radio a reality. Don't take my word for it. Check out what some industry professionals said about the Illinois Media School.
Jonathan Hood, ESPN 1000.
People often ask me, Hoodie, how can I be a sports radio guy like you? I tell them it takes drive and determination, and you need to learn how it all works. You can learn to be a sports talk show host, a producer, do play-by-play, and shoot and edit video. You'll have a chance to get internships at stations where you can tap into the knowledge of industry pros. With job placement assistance, you can start your new career in 1 year. It's a great school to get the hands-on training you need for a broadcasting career, doing what you love. They have affordable tuition and financial aid for those who qualify. So don't waste another minute. Go to beonair.com/Chicago Sports. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
Next time on The Penalty Box. The NHL season is coming to a close. But the Stanley Cup final is set.
No! God, please, no!
Will Vegas flip the script and win?
I like our chances now.
Or is Washington taking down Sin City?
Classic.
Take a seat in the penalty box with Hot Take Nikos and the Goon. Tuesdays from 2 to 4 on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
I am Raphael Young, and there are two kinds of fighters that are here now. We have the NBA Finals and the Stanley Cup Finals. Who will be champions? Anything can happen. But also, I will talk about the Cubs and the White Sox and how they're doing so far in their young season. Tune in every Monday from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. at ChicagoSportsRadio.com. It's not just sports, it's for life.
Hey, Chicagoland, it's crunch time. You know what that means. Make sure to tune in with me, Charles Prodigy Ritchie, Sid the Kid, and Corey Barber. Will the Vegas Golden Knights pull off the unthinkable, win the Stanley Cup in their first year? Also, NBA Finals, we get ready to count down a little closer. Who will it be? And also Cup Stocks. So make sure to tune in On Deck every Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m. on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
It's showtime, folks!
That ball is well hit. Knock, knock. Who's there? Mr. Baseball. Mr. Baseball who? Mr. Baseball went and got himself out of here.
Covering the bases with Matt Brown and Steven Garcia.
We cover all your latest Cub Stocks news, happenings around MLB, scores, updates on this day in baseball and ballpark eatery.
The ballpark food?
Now you're speaking my language.
You can catch us from noon until 2 o'clock every Wednesday afternoon on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com and Facebook Live.
I'm hungry. Let's go get some food.
The weather is finally warming up, but we at Second City Sports will keep our cool as we talk Cubs, White Sox, and MLB. Who will advance the NBA Finals? Who will be your new Stanley Cup champion? And a whole lot more. We'll also have some great guests to talk about it.
He is Sam Padianovich, formerly of WGN Radio, now with VSiN Live. Jay Pfeiffer.
Come and join the fun with me, Lakita McGee, and Jason Pfeiffer for Second City Sports. Thursdays noon to 2, only on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
Nothing moves the blob. You always hear, okay, the best coach in the cup. You don't hear Steve Kerr in that conversation. Obviously, don't hear Mike D'Antoni in that conversation. We hear Tyronn Lue in that conversation. Somehow, some way, it just sounds what makes a pillow fight.
Dave Meltzer would grade that match. He'd be like 4.5 stars. I don't know how, but it pillow fight.
The Bob Block Show with Cedric Farrell and Elijah Richardson, Wednesdays from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. only on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
I've been in the radio and broadcasting business a long time, more than 3 decades, and I thought, if I spread my knowledge and shared what I know about the business with a lot of young minds, maybe I could get some of those people involved. And my dad talked to schools, and I thought I could do that too, and I could do it all in one place at Illinois Media School. I've been having a great time. I tell everybody I'm learning as much from the students as they learn from me. I am Eddie Volkman, and I am IMS.
All right, that's enough of that. All right, we're back here on the penalty box. Take on me. All right. So apparently the NHL will not be taking on the Seattle expansion in the owners meeting in June.
What?
Which I guess makes sense.
Why?
Well, let's see. You just expanded to Vegas. Vegas, in most people's eyes, including my own, has been seen as a huge success. Why would you want to go and ruin the possibility of any success with future expansions by having another team right after another?
Why not?
Like gloat in
More the merrier.
Gloat in the glory of having a good expansion team in Vegas for at least 3 to 5 years.
I like hockey jerseys and I like teams. And I think if Vegas proved anything, is that more of these depth players that are on teams are being buried.
Yes.
Once they get that chance to become like full-fledged NHLers in the roles I think they're supposed to be playing, they become these great all-stars. And I would love to see more of these players come up and be all-stars on a team.
Well, let me ask you this. If you're going to have a team in Seattle, are you going to have the same exact expansion rules that you did for Vegas?
Yeah, why wouldn't I?
Okay.
What was wrong with for the first ones?
I don't know.
What was wrong with it? No, don't give me that face.
No, it's okay.
What was wrong with them?
It's irrelevant now.
What was wrong with them?
It's irrelevant now.
What was wrong with them?
No, it's irrelevant now.
No, tell me. What was wrong with them?
I just You know, it's okay. I mean, it's whatever. I mean, teams we're given given certain parameters of players that they could go ahead and protect. It really didn't affect the Blackhawks too much compared to other teams. I mean,
so
I'm
what
sure
was wrong with the rules?
they were. I don't know. I don't want to use that argument that they were gifted a team
because they weren't.
Because they had a chance to pick all their players. So I don't want to be that guy.
So what guy are you being? So
just
what?
A regular guy.
But you think something was wrong with him?
I mean,
you do. So what was wrong?
I mean, I really wasn't alive or really like that hardcore into hockey when Columbus came into the league, but they didn't have the same rules. So we're switching it to make sure hockey is, successful in Vegas.
Well, here was the biggest thing that the difference between those two is because the NHL realized, hey, these teams sucked for so long. They didn't make it easier. They literally said, hey, you can protect 8 players on your team and the rest you can't. Prior to before, where they could protect, I think it was 12 players on your 24-man roster. So you're only have 12 versus they decreased it by 4 players. And the players that they had otherwise on your list, you could take. Now, the reason that I had this conversation with somebody yesterday. Let's just say Florida, how Florida gave up Riley Smith and Jonathan Marchessault. Riley Smith was looked at as a 30-point, $50 or $5 million player that nobody wanted. He played like poop on Florida. Florida made the deal with Vegas so that they would take Riley Smith, but they would give them Marchessault versus taking another player, not taking that contract off of Florida's back. Same thing with Anaheim. They took on a lot of bad contracts, but they got draft picks for it. Those rules weren't allowed in the first pick, and people would say that was bad. They could have chose a way better team than the team that they chose. They could have had Vatanen. They could have easily have chose Huberdeau from Florida. They could have chose there's a lot of names on there that I can't even think of right now. But still, Niederreiter could have been on that list. They ended up taking instead of taking Niederreiter or Dumba, they ended up taking I can't think of his name. They ended up taking who's Alex Tuch and Erik Haula.
How well that has worked out for Las Vegas. No, and I mean, good for them. I mean, I'm happy
There's nothing wrong with this expansion rule. There was nothing wrong with it to begin with. There was just teams made dumb decisions on who they thought was more important versus another player, and they ended up getting more. They ended up getting a lot more draft picks out of it. Hence, that's why they have it. They had a good team because the team that they chose was good.
Okay, so let me ask you this: how long do you think the NHL waits then to grant Seattle the rights to a team?
I was hoping it would have been this year. If it's not this year,
because then let me ask you this. Let me follow that up with a question. If Seattle gets a team, obviously they're going to be in the Pacific.
Yeah.
Okay, what Pacific team then moves to the Central? Because you're not going to have 9 teams in the Pacific and then 7 teams in the Central.
I think Seattle comes to the league. Arizona moves to Quebec.
Wow.
That's
you think Arizona moves to Quebec.
That's how easy it could be. That's how easy it should be.
It should be, but the league isn't willing to do it.
You bring in Seattle. Seattle comes and does its thing. And then Arizona goes to Quebec that has a NHL arena, has a fan base that wants them there, and it becomes another great Canadian team. And I don't know. It would be that would be the best way to do it. You usher in the Arizona Coyotes moving, and you usher in a new team coming in, and it just works out so perfect because people won't complain about Arizona League. I'm sorry. I know there's Arizona fans. I know Arizona made Austin Matthews. Thank you. But, it just doesn't work in Arizona. Who would you rather have, a Seattle team or Arizona?
Why not both?
because that would not equal.
No. In all honesty, I would probably move Arizona, and that's the thing is that you have so many teams or so many cities who deserve a team like Hartford, Quebec. You know, bring back the Nordiques, bring back the Whalers.
Nobody wants the Whalers back.
Well, speak for yourself.
They-
I'm just saying in general, and not only that, but then you have the Calgary Flames, who I don't know if you remember this, they threatened to move because
That
they
was-
wanted
that
they
was
wanted a
not
new
big.
stadium. Well, now I guess in the news, the city of Calgary has voted to reopen arena talks with the Flames, and I think they know that the Flames, because I believe that if they came down to it, the Flames would move.
No, they wouldn't. They would never take out the Flames. They've been at the bottom of the league the last 8 years, but they've also been one of the top attending teams the last 8 years.
Well,
and the most money maker out of all the Canadian markets. I know there's only 7, but they've been number 3 or number 2 consistently.
So what? You're going to fire the owner? Because ultimately, it's the owner's decision.
It's going to be a standoff between the two, and NHL's not going to allow him to just. The first thing they would do is the owner would have to sell his majority of the team to somebody who's willing to keep it there. The biggest thing with the Calgary Stadium situation is that the city doesn't want to pay for it, but the owner doesn't want to pay for it. So they're at a stalemate right now. Who's going to pay for the new arena? They're not going. And the owner threatens to move the team, but that's just a play so that the city pays for the stadium. Hence, what they did in Edmonton, because that's what they were mentioning a while back before. Edmonton was saying that they were going to move their team versus paying for a new stadium.
And I guess you could say the Islanders were essentially in the same boat as well.
Yeah, and well, I mean, they're getting built Belmont Park over for the Islanders, so they got something going for them.
And an actual hockey arena. Yeah. So I mean, I don't really see much coming out of this myself, but it would be good if they would. I mean, here's the thing, though. Let me ask you this. I know this is getting somewhat political, and maybe we shouldn't go there.
Probably shouldn't if you don't think it should.
But do you think?
No.
In your no. Okay. No, what I was going to ask you is if the Flames want a new stadium, should they not be the ones to throw money towards it?
No, they shouldn't. Why are you going to make the people pay for what an owner should be?
That's what I'm saying. The owner should be the one throwing up the money for it.
Yeah, they should.
Sorry, I didn't spell that out right. I apologize.
Yeah, you should. If you're going to do it, or at least pay half and half or 75%. If you want a new arena, which is what you want for your own product, which you're putting on the ice, then pay for it. Don't quit being so cheap. Pay for it. And that's why so many Calgarians are angry about that situation. I have a lot of friends who are huge Calgary Flames fans, and they express such a love for the team, but they're not going to pay for a new stadium. They saw what Edmonton was a mosquito like that with their owner, how their owner made them pay for 75% of that stadium.
Yeah, which was ridiculous. Now, I wish you would stop tagging me in weird crap on Twitter about my team.
So what do I tag
you tweeted me something earlier about Taze going to Winnipeg, all because he said he wanted the Jets to secretly win the Stanley Cup.
What's the secret anymore?
I don't appreciate that, my friend.
He's going to the Peg, whether it's now or 5 years from now. He's gonna be.
And I don't doubt that. I mean, that would be the most logical place if the Blackhawks were to some way or reason wake up and go, "We're going to trade Jonathan Toews," which they won't.
They should have. I would trade Toews now if he has any trade value. You would tell me you wouldn't trade him now?
I would wait to see how this year goes.
Dude, he's washed
and
up.
Then I buy him up.
He's washed up.
Then I buy him out.
You're not gonna buy out a $10.5 million contract, dude.
Watch me.
you would pay that for the rest of the life of the Blackhawks. That would go until 2035.
Yes and no. All right, but stop tagging me in this weird stuff.
What was the other thing? Oh yeah, bringing back Teuvo Teravainen. Did you know he had 61 points this season?
And I would have
I thought he was a dud this season. I thought he only had like 40 points. I looked at his stats. He had like 61 points. That was nuts.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of crazy. All right. Wild Bill Carlson recently in the news. He's talking about his frustration with being left out of the top 6 with the Blue Jackets. And this is where it goes back to what we were talking about earlier about playing guys in their right roles. Could you imagine if the Blue Jackets would have noticed that and played him in the role that he was supposed to be in?
Well, when you have an up-and-coming center in Wenberg, you have a 19-year-old in Pierre Lacdubois. You have Dubinsky. You're going to tell me a guy who just had 25 points the season prior is going to get ice time over those guys?
Well, no, but I'm just saying in general, like
the skill was there.
To
but
play the shoulda, coulda, woulda game is basically what I was saying.
You also have to realize that he was playing underneath John Tortorella's system.
True.
So is the offense really going to be popping?
Oh, I hear you.
So there's also that aspect as well. I just think that there's no real correlation there. Why are you going to be mad?
Real quick here, because we're running out of time. Does Vegas take a 2-0 lead going into Washington, or is this series tied 1-1?
Vegas in 5, bro.
Oh, my goodness.
Vegas in 5. Let me tell you now. Vegas in 5. I'm sorry, everybody. Vegas in 5.
All right, whatever. All right, well, that is where we're going to have
hold
to
on, hold on. Hold the phone. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you can follow us at the Penalty Box CSR. You can follow me on Twitter at 6GodNikos.
For whatever reason, I'm at JDHicks88, and I recently found out that this show has a Instagram page.
Oh yeah,
that
does.
Nobody told me about.
Oh yeah, I just made it.
Okay, all right.
I literally just made it. I didn't even do anything on it yet. So just me. You can follow us on Instagram too.
That's weird.
Whoever's listening,
right? And then tweet us, let us know what you think about the Tom Wilson situation going on in Washington. It's kind of stupid. Tell us who you think's winning the cup. We want to know that too. But this has been the Penalty Box. We gotta go.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Have a good day.
How's it going? My name is Edgar Ibarra, and I'm very grateful for students now working in the industry today on the radio stations you listen to and on the TV stations you watch every day. Illinois Media School. Check it